So today is February 4th. Okay, so here's our objective. Our objective is going to be to make quadratic function equations from 2 or 3 points. Okay, so when we say quadratics, quadratics really are parabolas, but it's a fancy word. So quadratics really are the ax squared plus bx plus c. All right? So when you see the word quadratic, it comes from the quadratic formula, which we will not learn today, but it comes from the quadratic formula. We saw that, I think, on Friday again. Remember the quadratic formula? Okay, so vertex form. Y equals ax minus h squared plus k. That's the vertex form. I like vertex form. I like it because, boom, I can find my vertex easily. My vertex are these two values, right? Go straight to it. Johan, how you doing? There you go. Okay, I like vertex form because with vertex form I go straight to the vertex because I know that the vertex is at h, comma, k. Now standard form is different. Standard form has its own advantage, but it's not as easy to get the vertex. So standard form is the y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? If it's in standard form, then the vertex has to be found by my negative b over 2a. So it takes a little bit more work. I mean, the vertex form is nice. The answer is there. If it's in standard form, x squared plus bx plus c, then it takes a little bit more work to get the vertex. We're going to use that little mini equation, right? Now, intercept form is like this. A times x minus h and x minus k, all right? Intercept forms are when it's already factored and you get the mini equations, you solve. I'll say it again. Intercept form is where you've already factored it, you get your mini equations and you solve it. So then my intercepts or my x-intercepts would be, in this case, at h, comma 0 and at k, comma 0, okay? Yeah.
But if it has a y value, how will we find the y value?
The y-intercept, right? Great question. So to find the y-intercept, let's write that down. Y-intercept. Let's think about it for a second, because it always holds true, okay? Okay, always holds true for the y-intercept, okay? So right here, Daisy, is a y-intercept, right? What would be the x value of this point?
0.
So you always, just to find the y-intercept, always let x equal 0, and you get the y. Okay, great question. Okay, let's look at example 1. So in example 1, there's two things we can do. We can draw a picture, which I'd probably draw a rough sketch so you see what's going on, and then try and get it from the graph, or we can just throw it in the formula, which is the way I'm going to do it. So first of all, the parabola passes through the point 6, 4. It has a vertex of 2, negative 3, okay? Find the equations parabola. So let me try and draw a picture of what's going on. You don't need to draw a picture, but it doesn't hurt to see what's going on. So if I draw a picture of what's going on, put my little picture here, so I draw a little picture. Let's see, I'm going through 6, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 4. And it's got a vertex of 2, negative 3, okay? Something like that, okay? So here's my vertex. And the graph's gotta look like something like this, right? Okay, you guys agree with that? Now to get the equation, you don't need the graph. We don't need the graph. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna slide it for a second. I've got 1, 2, 3 little mini equations, right? And I'm going to use one of these 3. Which one do you think I ought to use? Think about the words of this question, okay? Think about the words. Yeah, you guys see the word vertex? So because I see vertex, on this example, I'm just going to go straight up and I'm going to use my vertex form, okay? All right, so how's that going to work? Well, let's just write it down. I'm going to go, okay, y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. All right, I'm going to use my vertex form because my keyword was it's got a vertex, okay? All right, so if it's got a vertex of 2, 3, let's use that. Let's plug the 2, negative 3 into the formula for h and k. All right, am I going too fast? Okay, so I'm going to take my 2 and plug it in for h, and I'll take my negative 3 and I'll plug it in for k, all right? Because that's my h. That's my h and my k, all right? So I'm going to go, okay, y equals a times x minus 2 squared minus 3, okay? So far, so good? Yeah, slide up, okay. So far, so good? All I did is, since I'm using vertex form, 2 and 3 are the vertex. So the 2 goes in for the h, and the negative 3 goes in for the k. All right, so far? Thumbs up? Okay, now what I have to do is find the value of a. So I need to find the value of a. And it makes sense to me because if all I have is just the vertex, then this parabola could do a lot of things, right? This parabola could go this way. It could be super skinny, it could be super wide, right? It could be upside down. Yeah, Daisy?
So where do you just go from the vertex to the point, and so it would be 7/4? So rise over 1.
You know, I like what you said, except for the problem with the parabola is the slope is always changing. If there's a straight line, I'd say yes. But here's what I want to do. I'm going to take my point, which is 6, 4. It has an x and a y value, doesn't it? Right? So I'm going to take my 4 and plug it in for y. I'm going to take my 6 and plug it in for x. And then all the variables are filled except for a. I'll say it again. So if I put my 6 in for x, plug my 4 in for y, then all my variables are filled, and then I can just, what's left is a, and I can solve for a. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take my 4 and plug it in for y. My x, which is my, going to be my 6 minus 2 squared minus 4. So, all I did is I put 6 in for my x and 4 in for my y, okay? Here's my 6.
Wait, it's 3. Minus 3, not
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's Monday morning. I'm doing great. Okay, so let's solve. So we're going to solve for a. Like, so let's find the value of a. So let's do that. Go 4 equals a times a 4 squared minus 3. Okay. I'm going to go plus 3 plus 3. So 7 equals a times 16. And so if I divide by 16, a is going to be 7/16. Okay. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done because I want to find the equation. So if I want the equation, then I need to keep x and y as my equation. I need to keep x and y, but I already know what a is, and I know what h and k is. So my answer, grand answer, is going to be this. All right, y equals, okay, a, and a is 7/16, parentheses, x minus h, or x minus 2 squared plus k, or minus 3. There's my answer to this parabola. Okay, and I can throw it on a graphics calculator, and sure enough, it would look like this, okay? So, I found a, 7/16. So I plugged the 7/16 into the form for a. I knew the value of h, and I knew the value of k, right? Okay, let's look at number 2, okay? Okay, number 2. A parabola has x-intercepts of 2 and 8 and passes through the point 0, 3, okay? Find the equation. So again, I've got 3 little equations. I've got vertex form, standard form, or intercept form. So which one do you think we should use?
Intercept.
Yeah, it's got to be intercept. You guys agree? Because it talks about having x-intercepts. So let's use intercept form, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write that down. So my intercept form is my y equals my a times x minus h and y minus k. And in this case, my intercepts are 2 and 8, right? 2 and 8, so I'm going to put my 2 in.
Same high.
We
We can't see it.
Well, that doesn't help. Thanks, you guys. So 2 is going to go in for h, and 8 can go in for k. So let's rewrite this. I'll go y equals a x minus 2 times y minus 8, right? Now, the only thing I need to do is find the value of a, right? Okay, I've got it set up mostly. Let's find. So, find the value of a. All right. So, to do that, I'm going to take my point. I've got an x, y, so I'm going to take this point, 3, 0, and I'm going to put my 3 in for x. I'm going to put my 0 in for x and my 3 in for y. Okay, so I'll put those in, and I should be able to find the value of, yeah, this should be an x. Should be an x. So let's go 3 equals a times 0 minus 2 times a 0 minus 8, okay? So that should be an x too. Darn it, you guys, I'm sorry. It's Monday morning, huh? Darn me. Okay. So I've got 3 equals a times negative 2 times negative 8. 3 is equal to a 16a. Divide, and I get a equals 3/16. Okay, now all I got to do is plug it back into my formula. Okay, so my formula is going to be y, put it right here. Y equals, and I know the value of a, right? The value of a is 3/16. X minus 2 times an x minus 8. Okay? So what I had to do is find the value of a in all of these, right? That was part of the problem. And a, the value of a is important because it either makes the parabola wide, skinny, or upside down. And if you have to go through those points, then you've got to make sure you've got the right value, okay? How am I doing? Not bad for Monday morning? Okay, turn the page. All right. All right, with 3 points, it's kind of a pain. Do you have a calculator? Okay, you better grab a calculator, okay? Okay, because we're going to have to make our matrix.
Grab 3. Or 4. No, 3. Just 3. Mr. Davies. Can you flip back to the other side?
I sure can. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, how's that? Well, we'll grab the calculator, okay? Okay? Yeah.
We can't use the 3 times 3.
We are gonna. We really are. I'm gonna show you how. We really are.
Wait, John, okay, one more.
Yes.
Why?
You're way ahead of me. That's good. Yes. 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 Please stand up. All right. Now, here's how this works. All right, and we'll go slowly through it. So, if you've got 3 points, you're gonna have to use standard form.
Because it's all clear.
And for this problem, I'm going to write a little bit backwards. We're going to write as ax squared plus bx plus c equals y, okay? I need a calculator too. Okay? We are going to make a matrix. We really are. It doesn't seem like we're going to make a matrix, but we really are. So the deal is, if we've got 3 points. Now remember, you said, Johanna, you said, no, actually, you said 3 by 3. So we need to make a 3 by 3 matrix, okay? So to make a 3 by 3 matrix, we're going to need 3 equations. How do we get the 3 equations? From our 3 points, okay? So here's how it works. So let's make equation 1, okay? Equation 1, okay? Equation 1 is made by plugging in the first point, negative 2, 5, okay? Negative 2 is an x value. 5 is a y value. So we're going to go a times negative 2 squared plus b times negative 2 plus c equals 5. Okay? That's all I did. I'm going to make 3 equations so that I can use a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay? So I plugged in my negative 2. So equation 1 is going to be a 4a minus a 2b plus a 1c equals 5. Okay? There's equation 1. Yes?
But you put to the second power, so would it still keep the second power?
Yeah, I went negative 2 squared and I got a positive 4. Good question. I like that. Okay, there's equation 1, right? Let's make equation 2. So to make equation 2, let's take our second point. Let's take point B and do the exact same thing. 1, negative 3. So we're going to go a times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c equals negative 3. So I plugged my 1 in for x. Now let the y be negative 3, okay? So plug the 1 in for x, and the negative 3 in for y. Okay, now let me simplify that. Same thing as a 1a plus a 1b plus a 1c equals negative 3. Okay, got equation 2. Let's make equation 3. Wow, mine went down, okay. So equation 3, you can see where I'm going with this, I'm sure. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this, okay? Equation 3 is made from point 3. Point 3 was the 0.47. So let's plug that in. So we'll go equation 3 is going to be an a times a 4 squared plus a b times a 4 plus a c equals 7. Okay, so 4 goes in for x, and the 7 goes in for y. So let's simplify it. 16a plus 4b plus 1c equals 7. All right, I'm almost there. So matrix A, all right, you ready? So here's my equations. If I wanted to line them up, I'd have a, and you don't have to write this, you probably haven't, but I'd have a 4a minus a 2b plus a 1c equals 5. I'd have a 1a plus a 1b plus a 1c equals negative 3, and I'd have a 16a plus a 4b plus a 1c equals 7. Okay, and then from here, you know, we're going to just make our matrix, right? Matrix A, matrix B. We'll solve for A, B, and C. Okay, we're going to try and find. So now let's find A, B, and C. So I'm sure you guys aren't writing down matrix A. You're going straight to your calculator, but I'm going to write it down anyway because I'm the teacher. So matrix A, 4, negative 2, 1. Matrix B is 1, 1, 1, 16, 4, 1. Matrix B is going to be my 5, negative 3, and 7. Okay, and then hopefully somebody's done this already. A inverse, right? Inverse times B. Anybody got an answer yet? Okay, as soon as you get it, let me borrow your calculator. Can I borrow your calculator? Okay.
It's kind of weird.
No, that isn't weird. It's just those are fractions. I love it. Okay. Did you guys get this answer? Yeah. And so, as a fraction, this is like negative 1 2/3, right? And this is like same thing as negative 2 1/3, right? So what we got was A, thanks Daisy, is 1. B turns out to be a negative 1 2/3. And C is going to be a negative 2 1/3. So, as my answer finally, let's take a look at it. We're going to write then y equals a 1x squared minus, all right, 5/3 x minus 7/3. And I don't think we don't really have time to do the journal because I want you guys to start working on your homework, but it's the same stuff that's in it, okay? All right.